Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Swamp Thing. This is episode 4, Darkness on the Edge of Town. To start off, my hair's all messed up, so I'm wearing a hat. I try to be on brand at least with Nightwing. Um, but yeah, I just had a bit of a wing going on here, so I decided to cover it up. But yeah, last week, thrill and chills, mystery, intrigue, and some setup. But these episodes keep getting shorter. I think last week was like 48 minutes, this is 44 minutes, so I'm just like, I hope it goes back up, because Titans did the same thing. It started off with like a 54-minute episode or 58 or something, and then it kept going down and down. Like by the end, it was just like 40-minute episodes, and I'm like, come on, like you got content. Let's go through it, you know. So I hope, Swamp Thing's been good so far. It's been very solid. All the shows, okay, I love all the shows on DC Universe. Titans was definitely, like a freshman attempt, but they've been getting better and better. Swamp Thing has been steadily very, very solid, like supremely solid. So the minutes I'm not too worried about. It's more like a sadness, like I want more show. So, you know, but obviously it makes sense for them to cut it in a certain way. Um, but yeah, let me just adjust the volumes, and I think we will be good to go. Let's just get into this episode.
Damn it, Amber's get your ass over here. Now open this bitch up.
Flashback. Like father, like son. What is that? Arrowhead. Oh. What? Shit. Is it biting him? Shit. Is it biting him or is it just a corpse? This is jagged teeth. Shit. Like that's like true crime swamp division.
Damn cut.
That does not look normal. Cover it up, man. This is not up to safety code, OSHA. Should be having a hairnet at least. Probably has to shave. Shit! Oh my god. Oh my god. God, this is such a horror. Oh my god, now he's infected the dad.
No, stay with me. Hey.
Oh my god. I was not ready for this today. I thought I was ready for a Swamp Thing episode, but I'm not. God damn. How romantic.
The cell circumferences are round and irregular and more suited to something with mobility, so it's either a plant or an animal. So pick one.
I forgot for a moment that he's under Sunderland's thumb.
I know who you are, Dr. Woodruff. And I know that you're working for Avery Sunderland.
What possible difference could that make? Why would I give a damn about the rest of the world?
But then there's also the fact that he's just crazy, and he doesn't give a fuck about who's under his payroll and all that. Oh, shit.
Do you have a second job?
Someone's supposed to be helping her, right? Right? Well, I'm asking balloons. Shit.
Okay, well, at least that means he's a good guy if he wants to help her.
To Murray Town Hall tonight for an old-style crawfish sport. So you invite your friends, you invite your family.
Oh God.
Tell me what all went down.
We don't know.
Oh
1 minute
God, I
Todd's washing
forgot
hands,
the dad
next
got scratched.
Yelling about a snake.
Green flu kicks up. Your scientist friend coming back from the
Yes,
dead.
but that doesn't mean he brought back a new strain.
Oh my
Recomposition,
God.
neurotoxin, roundworm. There's
Not
a lot
now.
of
That can make him tear himself up like that?
Liz?
Oh no.
He's acting like the guy. You got. Okay, his gun's jammed. Go take it away from him. Thank you. Oh no! These people need to cut their nails. Stop scratching everybody. Oh my God. Oh I just realized the mom's infected, so that means the son's probably Matt. Oh God. To hotel. The corpse are gonna drop on you again.
Alec, is that you?
How is she supposed to? Oh no. The fucking town hall, that's where it's gonna happen? Oh God. I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
8 years ago, when you first come to Marie, you told me you'd made a bargain. One that bound you to this town until called upon. But you've been called to a destiny. Every hero's path is theirs to walk alone.
Shit. I'll talk about it later. Oh. Her fear is that her son will get hurt in the line of duty. Okay, at least she's not hurting anybody yet.
Cecilia?
Oh God.
Stay back!
Shit. Okay, now we're getting into the bad territory.
Cecilia!
Shit.
Daddy, it's okay. Cecilia, look at me. This is not real. It's not real. Listen, you're sick. You have to come with me. No! Get off of me! Get off! You have to come with me!
She's gonna scratch you.
Cecilia!
She's gonna scratch. Yep. Okay, Abby, you gotta get to the swamp now. Get to the swamp. Get to the swamp. Go, 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 go.
That thing isn't me. I have to take it back to the swamp.
Okay, good, good, smart. Show it, the show.
Alec?
How do you get it out of you though? That's the question.
Alec?
How are you gonna get it to stay here? Shit. That's fucking creepy. Who the fuck is that?
I've been waiting.
Alec, you gotta do something.
Abby, let me take this from you.
Go. Is he gonna put it back in the body somehow?
Alec. What are you doing?
I'm scared for you, Abby. This is only the beginning.
Oh, I knew I was gonna talk about stuff, but I kind of forgot. Okay, I think a big thing that I wanted to mention was I'm still so sad that the show got canceled. Because there's so much, like, I hope at the very least they're able to work in this universe with the other, with Titans, with Doom Patrol, with Stargirl coming up next year. I hope they're all able to combine into the same place, because these are such fantastic characters that I just want them all to be shared and, this playground to grow. Um, because the stuff with Blue Devil and Madame Xanadu is so intriguing to me, and I know they're setting up, like, it kind of ties into my other big point about this episode, is that they're balancing a monster of the week with the overarching plot of the swamp is dangerous and there's some darkness going on. Stuff with Madame Xanadu, with Blue Devil, that stuff is obviously the overarching thing, that there is some evil coming, there's a storm coming, and they need to prepare. The fate of the town is at risk, all that stuff. There's obviously something coming down the line. We're not sure what it is yet, but probably like the rot or something. We have to find a solution for that. That's my guess. So hopefully they're able to at least conclude a storyline this season. But yeah, it just makes me so sad, because these characters are growing on me so much. They so quickly but so deeply, getting connections to these characters, and I just want them to continue to appear. I mentioned it in this episode. I really like the discussion about science versus like supernatural. It was there the whole time, but I just never really, put put two and two together, because that is a very interesting conversation to have. I mean, excuse me. We get characters like the Flash who are very science based. Even Wally West in Young Justice, he kind of deals with that supernatural thing when he becomes Dr. Fate for an episode. Spoilers if you haven't seen Young Justice, but I mean, come on. Well, I haven't seen Young Justice yet. It's only like episode 7, so who cares? But we've seen sort of one or the other, but we haven't really seen the combination too much about characters that are based so much in science, and then they are dealing with supernatural forces they can't explain. They were covering it up pretty well for the pilot episode, and then they dabbled in it in the last 2 episodes, but they made it very much like, okay, this is science. We're studying the cell structure of Swamp Thing, and it's a plant-human hybrid, and how the disease is affecting them. It's very science-based. But now we're kind of tiptoeing, diving deeper into the opposition of, there are just some things that can't be explained through science. Like, there's this virus, this curse, pretty much, that was transferable through the scratches and the cuts, making them, even through a long dead corpse, how do you explain that? She explained it kind of like, oh, there's been viruses that have been mummified and they're able to escape, but then the fact that he's able to return it to the body, how do you explain that? How do you explain all of this stuff? And so I think it's a very interesting discussion that we're going to see throughout the season. The stuff with Susie and the Sunderlands, again, they're using her. Avery is using Susie as kind of a, hey, don't you want to help this little girl out, so that he can get more funding from Maria, so that he can pay off Jason Woodrue to study this accelerant and how it's affecting the plant life and find a cure for it. So and going off of Woodrue, I think he's not like a villain. He's definitely on his own side. The scene with him and Abby in the morgue or wherever they're studying, it very much sets up that yes, he is working with Sunderland, and yes, he is kind of very creepy and shady, but at the end of the day, he is just out for knowledge. And so far, that has not been a source of evil. It could, I know, I don't know his character too well, but I do understand that he is based off of a character that helped create Poison Ivy, and he's been a villain character in a sort of sense, secondary antagonist kind of supporting character. But so far in the show, he is not malicious in intent. Of course, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a villain. Like, doesn't necessarily mean you have to have malicious intent to be a villain. There are definitely villains that want to do the right thing, and those are the compelling villains. At times when they're just misguided in their approach. And so that could definitely be the case here. But so far, he has not done anything villainous. He's an asshole for sure. He's made a mistake with the accelerant for sure. But so far, he has not been villainous. So I'm intrigued to see what they do with his character as well. I think that's pretty much it. Just a lot of, yeah, I'm just sad to see this show, the sort of behind the scenes production stuff that went into the show come to the forefront, because it's always going to be there now when I watch an episode. And I have really thoroughly enjoyed this series so far. I just wish I didn't have that recurring thought in the back of my mind that this is all we're getting. So I sincerely hope, hashtag save the Swamp Thing. We can at the very least, get these characters on the other shows so that we can continue their storylines if we're not going to continue the storyline of, Murray and the swamp and, all that stuff. At least we can have the characters and see what they're doing, and have them continue on moving forward. I was going to say one more thing. I can't remember what it is, so we'll just leave it there. Thanks for watching, everyone. Let me know in the comments below what you liked about this episode. Where you think this story is going. It's still very meandering. Next episode is going to be the halfway, the mid-season finale. It's not really a mid-season finale, but it'll be the halfway point of the season. So I'm very curious as to where we're going. Doom Patrol was very meandering in its plot, but it was able to work around that because of such great character development. Whereas here, it's very much a mystery. I said I kind of joked at the beginning of the episode, it's a true crime swamp edition. Because this episode in particular, it felt very much like hey, here's a monster of the week, but also we're kind of dealing with something bigger. But we haven't really gotten concrete. What are we doing? Like, it's kind of in its middle zone of like, we're not getting terribly great. I mean, terribly. The character development is good, but it's not like oomph. There's not a big stride coming through yet. And then the main plot, the mystery, I guess, we're not getting any big strides either. So I'm just intrigued. I am curious to see where this season goes. Anyways, I'm talking too much. Thanks for watching, everyone. Again, comment in the below about this episode, and look forward to talking with you guys. Thanks for watching.